Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Veronica here. How are you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. You guys, in today's video, I'm going to be gisting you guys how my OYINBO roommates poisoned my food. I didn't do anything to her. She poisoned my food. If you want to see how this happened, then keep on watching. All right, welcome back guys. So back then in college, in nursing school, I lived in like a student apartment. It's not the dorm, but a student apartment where, you know, it's flats. It's an apartment complex, but it's mostly student. Actually, it's just students living there. I didn't want to live at the dorm, and I also didn't want to live outside of school. I wanted to still experience, you know, that student living. So I wanted the student apartments. So that's why I started living there. In my particular apartment, we had like four flats, two rooms upstairs, 2 rooms downstairs, and then the 2 rooms upstairs shared why am I raising my hand like that? The 2 rooms upstairs shared 1 living room, while the 2 rooms downstairs shared 1 living room, and then we had 1 kitchen for everybody. So you guys, I was the one that moved in first. And then another girl moved in, another OYINBO girl, but we didn't see her much. We didn't see her at all, actually. And then about a week or 2 later, because this was the start of school, people were coming in. About a week or 2 later, this particular girl that poisoned my food moved in. And you know, from welcoming her, talking to her, I asked her what she was here to study, and she said she was here to study nursing, just like me. And I realized that she was actually a year or 2 behind me. Oh, I think she was a year behind me. That's because I was a nurse before now. I was a LVN, licensed vocational nurse. So they removed a lot of my classes. I didn't have to take too many classes. So I came in and I was already in senior or something like that, Sha. But anyway, I was ahead of her in the program. So I told her, like, if you have any questions or anything you need, just let me know. You know, as per senior, and I want to help. You people, I didn't know it was a crazy person I was talking to. I was like, whatever I can help you with, do not hesitate to come to me, you know. And also, if you need old textbooks, I have them. So that went. She was like, oh, thank you. So a couple of weeks later, I realized that she started carrying face one kind. I'm like, what happened? She said that she's the only one that's putting out the trash, that I don't put out trash and stuff as often as she does. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I made a conscious effort to do that, you know, to make sure that when the trash is full and I'm there, I take it out. But the problem is I'm not usually there because, like I said, I was already a nurse. So I was going to school. I just came back to that school to get my bachelor's degree. So I was already working as a nurse. So after class, I would go to work. Sometimes I'm not back until night. So that apartment, I was really just there to sleep, to be honest. And weekend, I hang out with my friends and stuff. So I was barely even there at the apartment. Maybe that was what the other one was doing too, that we didn't even see the third girl at all. So anyway, so that happened. I just made sure that I would take the trash out like she said. A couple of weeks later, my mom just came from Nigeria and she brought me smoked fish. I went to school in another state, not the same state that my family lived at the time. So when my mom came from Nigeria, she brought some dried fish for me. You know, the black catfish, the dried one, big ones my mom brought for me. Plenty. Oh, I had them in a big poly bag. Yes. So I kept it in the freezer. And one day, one of my friends wanted fish. And I was like, oh yeah, I got you. I went in my freezer. I could not find my fish. I started scattering the whole freezer. I could not find my fish. So my mind just went like, oh, let me go ask her. I knocked on this girl's door. She didn't open the door. So I guess she wasn't home. I waited. About 2 or 3 days later, I saw her and I asked her, like, okay, do you know what happened to my fish? Blah, 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 blah. She was like, oh, I threw some things out because it had a really bad smell. Wait, what? Wait, what? You threw out my expensive fish? You threw out my fish? Do you know what you just did? Do you know what you just did, boo? You threw out my fish that came all the way from Nigeria. Oh my God. I wanted to kill her, but I had to forgive. I'm like, okay, this girl, you have to go beg my ancestors, because what you just did is an abomination. This fish traveled all the way from Nigeria down here. I was so excited about that fish. My mom paid a lot for that fish. My mom went through a lot to bring that fish over. I drove 4 hours to go pick up the fish from my family house. And wait, you did what? You threw it away? Oh my God. But I decided to forgive her because she doesn't know any better. She's OYINBO. She smelled something and she thought it was spoiled and she threw it away. According to her, she was like, oh, it smelled like something that was spoiled and she threw it away. But you could have asked me first. It's my property. If it was your stuff and I see maggot falling off, I would still ask you first before I throw it away, because that's just courtesy. That's how you do things. You just don't go throwing people's stuff away. What if I want to eat it with all that smell and as the way the thing was bad like that? I just let it go. I let it go. I still continue taking out the trash, just like she said. Sometimes she would tie the trash and put it by my staircase. Again, like I said, I was the only one upstairs, and she was downstairs with the other girl that we never saw. So she would tie it and put it by the staircase so that I will see it when I'm coming down to throw away. Crazy girl. So that happened. I let it go. One day after school, I had to go to work and I had like maybe an hour or so to get ready. So I was like, okay, I have stew. Let me boil rice and then take to work. While the rice was boiling, I ran upstairs to go take a shower. Whew. I ran upstairs to go take a shower, you guys. I came back downstairs. After I had already finished my shower, I was wearing my clothes. I was coming downstairs. As soon as she heard my footstep, I saw her stand in front of my boiling rice doing her hand like this. But I wasn't sure what she was doing. But it was very quick. Like as soon as she heard my footsteps, she walked straight into her room. That part I remember, and I remember her doing this on top of my rice, but I didn't think anything of it at that time because I didn't know what, my mind did not even go there. Like why any sane person would not do something like that. My mind did not go there at all. Sorry if I'm looking at myself. My mind did not even go there at all. So she went to her room. I'm looking at my rice. I'm like, why is this thing boiling like this? It's just boiling, like, you know, foaming, like there was just foam everywhere. But I'm like, oh, maybe it's just the rice. Maybe it's not parboiled rice. But then again, I've boiled this rice before and it didn't have this much foam. But me, I just let it go. After cooking the rice, I put some in my plate. I left the rest in the freezer. I put it in a container in the freezer. I took my rice and stew and took it to work. You guys, when it was time to eat, I carried a spoon, put it in my mouth, and you guys, it tasted like pure soap. Detergent, you know, the liquid detergent, that was what this girl poured in my food. That was what this girl put in my rice. Oh, you people. That was what this girl put in my rice. I was like, wait, it's not possible. Let me take another spoon. I bought this rice now. Where will soap come from? Why would this rice be tasting like soap? I still like, you know, I called my friends. They were like, are you sure? I told them, I said, hey, I think my roommate poisoned my food though, because I saw her in front of my boiling rice. I saw her hand like this. But at that time, my head is like, okay, maybe she's doing something. But I didn't see any plate when I came downstairs. I didn't see any pot when I came downstairs of her cooking her own food. She acted like she was trying to take something from the thing. As soon as she saw me and she was running, she acted like she was taking something from the cupboard. I was like, at that point, I thought she was just taking something from the cupboard. I left work early, drove to my house, and I went straight to her door. At this point, I was already bawling. My friends were on the phone with me while I was driving home, and they were begging me, Veronica, don't do this, don't do that. I said, no, I'm going to go and fight. And this fight is going to be for my fish that she threw away, and then this rice that she, like, why would she want to poison me? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? What did I do to you? So I got home and I went straight to her room. I started banging. This girl did not open the door. I was shaking. This girl did not open the door. You know what she did? After she did that and I left the house, she left the apartment for like a week or a week and a half or so. This girl went to her family house. Because I do that. So during the weekend, I will go to my family house. I'll drive 4 hours to Houston, stay the weekend and come back home if I don't have to work that weekend. So I was like, wait, this girl is not here. I was so angry. that I went to our apartment office to go report to them. These people were like, well, there's nothing we can do because you didn't catch her red-handed. You did not take a picture of, you didn't take a picture of her, nothing, no evidence. Like, you could just be planning this against her, and I understand that. But that time when the thing was happening, you think the first thing I would think to do is go back upstairs to go bring my camera to snap her. It was quick. This girl calculated it well, and thank God I saw her. But they were like, no, they can't do anything about it. I was still mad, but I just wanted to beat her. Where is this girl? Come, I will go to jail because of you. I will go to jail because of you. But if I was just talking, I don't know how to fight too. I never fought before in my life, but I knew somebody was going to beat somebody. It's either I beat her or she beats me. Somebody will beat somebody. Somebody will beat somebody. I'm laughing over it now. It was really scary then. So when that happened, I decided, okay, since the apartment people will not do anything about it, I was like, okay, let me take this to the police station. Well, they told me I don't have any evidence. I could just be setting her up. I was like, okay, no problem. I was already feeling better. 1.5 weeks later, this girl decided to come. But before then, so I was already feeling better. When you're angry, don't react. That's the thing. When you're angry, don't react. Thank God I didn't meet her at home that day, because really they would have arrested me. OYINBO people, they don't forgive. I will beat her, finish. Her family will come and arrest me and my family and everybody. So guys, so that was how that day passed. But best believe I went back to the office and I told them, you either take her out of this apartment, or you take me to another apartment, or let's cancel my contract. And they were like, well, you can't cancel the contract because you're already in the house. You can't just cancel. I think they told me to pay one kind of money like that didn't make sense. And they weren't just going to push her out of the apartment because I didn't have any evidence. So I had to manage and live in this house. I was scared though. I said, this girl is crazy. What is she going to do next? Bring a gun to my room and shoot my enemy? I was scared. So my door was always locked. I was even barely at home. The time that I would be at home, I'd rather go stay in my friend's apartment than to stay there. So I bought a refrigerator and put in my room. I would pack all of my stuff, go to my friend's house, cook, put them in containers, and then bring them to my refrigerator in my room upstairs, lock up the house, the room. When I'm home, when I'm not home, when I did it, my door was always locked. I'm like, let me manage myself for this next couple of months before I run out of this apartment, before I move out of this apartment. So that was how I was doing until my lease ended and I did not renew it. I went to go get apartment outside. This time I'm not going to the dorm. I'm not staying in no student apartment. I want my own apartment. But you see that OYINBO girl? Oh my God, that girl is the devil herself. Do you know the whole time I didn't see her in the apartment, but I would always see her once in a while on campus. One day I saw her on campus. Actually, do you know this girl crossed over to the other side? I actually it was as if she knew what I was trying to do, because my plan was to walk up to her and tell her, I know what you did and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? The girl just saw me from afar and crossed the road. I'm like, yes, you will continue to run. Oh, continue to run because you know what you did. But anyway, that was how that story went. I'm glad it was even soap she put to where I could taste it, where I did not eat the food. Oh, and by the way, I kept that rice for weeks, so for evidence. I kept that rice for weeks for evidence in case I could get police somebody that would listen to me and arrest the girl for me, but nobody, because they said I didn't have any evidence. But anyway, so yeah, that was how the story went. Like I said, I'm glad it was soap she put that I could taste and not something else that I would have eaten the whole thing and my enemy would have just died like that. So thank God it was soap she put. Thank God, because you guys, that was a scary one. Oh, that was a scary one for me. But anyway, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know the next time I post another video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.